Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining me in part four. That was a little bit of a delayed start. I got caught by the tides again, trying to come out of shoals, and basically slowed things down. But we had already seen the tide, so I figured I wouldn't show it again. Anyways, this is part four. We're going to do the vaults. And vaults is a pretty interesting branch, so hopefully this segment should be more exciting than the last one. Okay. So let's get going. Anyway, we did 2 runes before vaults, which isn't strictly necessary. You only need 1 to enter the branch, so it's often safer to get 1 lair rune than doing both. Anyway, those Yaktar captains are a fairly dangerous ranged threat, but luckily, unlike centaurs, they are actually slower than us. I mean, they're not slower than us. They move at the same speed as us, what am I saying? And so I'm not too worried about them. I'm just going to eat all my pears. And then we can get our chunks and get going. But because they move the same speed as us, it's a little bit easier to establish a good position on them. See, he can't shoot me anymore. I would like to carry that. I'm going to drop these darts of dispersal. Ooh, vault guards. These are kind of a vault special enemy. They're generally just pretty tough melee threats. Is he invisible? But they shouldn't be too strong if we aren't getting hammered on too many at once. Ugly things are another classic vaults threat. They change colors, and that flavors their attack and also determines sort of what they end up resisting. So just be mindful of that. They're not terribly dangerous, though. Model dragon. Okay, well, we'll let him come to us because we don't want to get hit by sticky flame. Now, ogre packs become more dangerous in vaults because ogre mages are powerful spellcasters. They're essentially even stronger versions of that unique we killed Erolka earlier. So if we look at this guy, he has haste other, so he can haste the other ogres and make them more dangerous, and some nasty spells, including banishment. So we want to be careful and get him with anti-magic. Good. Another greatsword, don't care. Is there any hallways around? Because I don't really want to fight an unseen horror or a shadow wraith where... Yeah, it's an unseen horror. Well, we got him. Ice dragon. So let's put on our ring of ice. We don't need MR against this guy, but we do want to be able to defend him. His elemental attacks. Whoops. Oh, I put it on. Alright, cool. Sorry, I just got a message, and... Alright, now we can get going again. I'm not going to care. I have plenty of strength from my gloves and from being a Minotaur Berserker, so I don't need any rings of strength. In fact, I'm going to turn those off of auto pickup. Ironheart Preserver. What is this guy? Minor healing and injury bond. So basically they heal themselves, and if there's multiple monsters around, you want to start killing them first. This effect you saw, which slammed these doors and sealed the staircase, is an effect of Vault Wardens, who have this and also very powerful melee. You can actually kill Preservers by killing their allies. So that's kind of interesting, as I just did. Okay, here's the last of the unique human or vault-specific human monsters. It has most notably Word of Recall, which will pull monsters from the rest of the floor and teleport them to the Convoker. And obviously this can make a somewhat dangerous situation to an absolute crisis. So you want to really focus on killing these guys if you can. Or in my case, try to take out a pack of skeletal warriors. Yeah, so he's recalling. Okay. So we're going to move back so the monsters he recalls aren't right up on us. And this is a fairly decent place to fight. The Vault Sentinel has Sentinel's Mark, which makes monsters very good at tracking you from the rest of the floor. So this situation is already getting a little bit more dangerous. Okay, 2 Convokers. I'm going to try to kill them with this rod. Oh, that's irritating. And hit the Sentinel as well. And we killed an Ogre, but we really want to kill this Sentinel. Boom. Yeah, that rod is awesome. That rod is really great. And we've got a Wand of Cold. As long as we can take out a Convoker as Sentinel, we're feeling pretty good. We just don't want to have another Convoke. This guy is strong. Alright. So we took a lot of damage in that fight. Definitely going to run away. But we got the main threats. We don't need a haste or anything since these things are the same speed as us. I would definitely appreciate if I didn't have slow regen right now, but alas, evolution is still a good mutation. And now we can rest. No. Alright, good. And this looks like another party. Try to take it out. Take them out one at a time. I'm just checking what kind of weapons these guys are wielding, because I don't want to be, surprised by a polearm. Might take an extra step and get hit. So yeah, you can see that there are interesting monsters in vaults which can make the situations accelerate from feeling fairly safe to being very dangerous very quickly. And that wasn't exactly great. I should have put on my Ring of Fire. And here's our Ogre Mage. So make sure we've got our magic resist, put on our anti-magic, and kill him quickly. And okay, it's just a pair of skeletal warriors. We were killing these things earlier, so we're not too worried. Now I like to close the door, go around a corner. That T is a fire crab, so that's a dangerous monster. We're going to put on our Ring of Fire. And it's kind of unfortunate, but we really don't have the greatest ability to resist. We don't have the greatest elemental resistances, but okay, that was good. Fitting that. Alright, check out this guy, Wraith. They used to be a trivial enemy, but now their melee drains speed, so it can make you slow. You want to be very careful against them. You never obviously want to be slowed while fighting. And I take off my Ring of Fire. I do not want to be to have a negative cold resist at any time. That could easily be lethal. And that's the first floor. Well, almost. Ring of Fire instead of resist poison. And yeah, that really helped out. Took a lot less damage. Whoops. And now let's try Vaults 2. Okay, Yaktar Captain and Slime Creature. We don't want the Slime Creatures to build up, but we also don't want to get shot by the Yaktar too much. Took some damage, so I'm going to rest. And okay, so we really don't want to get marked. Make sure we have our good MR gear on. Ouch. These Rakshasas got buffed recently. This is actually my first encounter with the new ones. And he's cloning these sentinels like crazy, so I'm going to put on Trog's Hand for, you know, to really get some... Okay, good. Really get my MR. I do not want to be marked at all. Ah, nice. So that went pretty well. Definitely, out in the open, those Rakshasas seem like they could be very difficult, very dangerous. Okay. So there's some potions of agility we'll want to buy later. I think I still have some. Yeah, I have plenty. What went invisible? Something hits me. Alright, it's up here, above me. Oh, I killed it. Whoops. Alright, I'm gonna... The soldier ant's not dangerous. But the preserver is probably the biggest threat. Oh, I guess that was a shapeshifter, so I should have definitely killed it quickly. Okay, Hell Knight. So these are dangerous, and they can also be an indication that there's a unique. It casts Bolt of Fire, so I'm going to hit him with anti-magic. I'm going to be a little bit careful, just in case there's other Hell Knights. Alright, good. Okay, yeah, so this is a little loot vault. And we definitely want to enchant our crystal plate as much as we can. Get a lot of AC. Oh, let me just check which wands are still... Okay, this could be hasting or heal wounds, or it could be draining or invisibility. It's likely... Well, it's more likely draining than any of the other three, so I'm just going to check it. Oh, well, that's an excellent find, and it's kind of unfortunate that I didn't just re-identify right away, because obviously more healing is very beneficial. Well, we'll buy that later. Ah, Fire Giant. So we definitely want our Ring of Fire. And we're going to move back and to the door. And definitely want to use anti-magic on this guy because his Fireball and Bolt of Fire are going to be more damaging than his melee. Good. Alright. I'm just being careful here because vaults can easily create some dangerous situations. Especially with these convokers. But I will try to move fairly quickly. And I should definitely be checking the upstairs. Just so I know what's going to happen. Do not need a potion of magic, so we'll actually turn these off. They would be useful for a berserker if we're wearing Guardian Spirit, but definitely not useful to us. Okay, Jorgrun. Here's an infamous unique, and all the more dangerous because I actually don't have the ability to fly. He has Shatter, which is a hugely damaging spell, and even more so if we get petrified. So if we do get petrified, then we want to teleport. So what I'm going to do is do Trog's Hand, move back a little bit, and hopefully start getting him with the anti-magic. You want to be able to fly against Jorgrun if you can, but that was okay. And one thing I was aware of, and a little bit frightened of, was his ability to start petrifying me and my inability to teleport with my rings on. So it's lucky that we avoided that. Vault Sentinel, so conveniently we already have Trog's Hand to prevent the mark. And let's move a little bit to the open to fight these slime creatures. Alright, great. And what was that amulet that was on the alarm trap? Ah. Well, I do want it. I mean, it's an unidentified amulet. It could be conservation or, well, I guess it's not too important, but the alarm track is going to mark us. So my plan is, instead of fighting all these monsters which are down here, I'm going to grab it and then take this escape hatch up. Whoops. Not fully thought out. But yeah, we don't want to be completely swarmed. But if it's only a deep elf knight, then that's fine. Okay, clarity. That's not extremely useful to us because we actually have that mutation already. And we have very good magic resistance. Thank you, food. Check the staircase. And now this wand is less likely to be useful. Yes, it's just draining. So, what should I drop? I'm going to drop one of my wands of digging. Let's go. Oh, right. I swore I turned that off. Because brilliance is definitely not something we need. Much more useful for casters. And the third floor. Okay, deep trolls are a very strong late game melee threat. Especially strong because they can possibly come with a monster called the Deep Troll Shaman and Deep Troll Earth Elementalist. So we'll hope there are none of those along, because they can be absolutely lethal. All right, I don't think I'm going to use Curare until I find a blowgun. And what is this? Ice Beast. This is kind of interesting. Ah, just a random vault. Ah, Shadow Dragon. Okay, luckily it's in this room. Dragons can't open doors, so I can put on my Ring of Positive Energy at my leisure. And then, actually, let's hit him with Holy Wrath. Boom. Oh, does this not do extra damage to Shadow Dragons? I don't actually know. Someone, if you're going to make that decision, then it's worth checking. I like when Ironheart Preservers come out into the open. I mean, they're more dangerous when they're standing at the back of a fight. And there's something here, an invisible monster, which we get. Alright, this fight's going quite well. Elves aren't too dangerous, but, well, those classes of elves aren't too dangerous. Some elves are very dangerous. And I'll point those out when we encounter them. Ouch. Okay, let's put on this Ring of Fire. Don't need positive energy all the time. I'm going to rest up. Okay, Great Orb of Eyes. One of these recently killed me because it has these nasty magic resist checking spells, Paralysis, Disintegrate, Slow, Confuse. They're all hexes. Our Chandra points out that Holy Wrath does not work on Shadow Dragons. Their holy vulnerability only comes from maybe Pearl Dragons and TSO Flame. Okay, thank you. It's sometimes confusing to get that straight, but typically Holy Wrath, I believe, the weapon brand works against undead and demonic things. And so I didn't actually know whether Shadow Dragons are like undead or not. They seem undead-ish, right? But they're certainly unholy. Okay. So these centaurs are hitting us, but not too bad. And that's the best place for a Yaktar captain to be, right alongside. So you see this boulder beetle is rolling. They're normally a slow monster, but they can roll pretty fast and slam into you. So you want to not get hit by that, especially if you have low AC. Okay, Deep Hell Summoners are not the most dangerous guys, but being a summoner, they can create situations which are quite dangerous. So you want to be ready for them. Take them out quickly. Right, the Deep Elf Priest is a smiter, so we'll move back. Start swinging, because I think someone's going to come around this corner. Yeah. Ouch. Something drains your vigor. It's an invisible wraith, because I believe that's the only message that they give. The only way you can get that message. That's a shadow wraith, which we can't see because of we don't have see invisible. Look up description: monster shadow wraith. It's invisible. It doesn't tell us much. I closely missed something. Okay, got it. Good. Alright, that was dangerous. I do not want to be slowed under any circumstances. That is a general rule in Crawl. In a game full of exceptions... Oh boy, this floor is nasty. Okay, what does this guy have? Smiting, Brain Feed, Invisibility, Confused, Paralyzed, Minor Healing. I believe we have our MR gear on. Yes. But we don't want to fight him while he's invisible. He's tough. So... we're definitely going to go around this corner and try to hit him with anti-magic. Alright, good. Good. We killed him. Yeah, that's the importance of knowing what you're fighting and taking it seriously. I mean, it is unlikely that Norris would be able to pose a major threat to us, but we're trying to win, right? We're not trying to give the game any chances to punish us. As few as possible. Stone Giants are a big threat in vaults. They have powerful ranged attack, throwing these large rocks, and they're also strong melee threats. So you want to close the gap or find a corner to fight them around. But you also don't want to be spending time getting hit by them. It's kind of a trick. Ouch, just lost so many scrolls. Okay, I should have mentioned that Vaults is pretty much the first part of the game where elemental resists become incredibly useful. And also carrying around a whole lot of extra scrolls is not good. This is not good practice. I'm just opening myself to losing extra ones. So yeah, losing 4 scrolls in a powerful fire attack like that is not atypical at all. I'm going to start dropping scrolls that I don't think I should be carrying. Certainly not 10 teleportation. I'm not going to carry magic mapping because I've just been losing them. I'm not going to be carrying so much. Whoops. Ah, that was a mistake. I'm not going to carry magic mapping. I'll use that later. I'm not going to be carrying so many remove curse. And that's okay. Now let's look at our potions. Not too ridiculous. So that was another Plague Shambler. So we want to start walking away as soon as you kill it, because Miasma is a very dangerous effect. Oh, here's another unique. She's Fast Spriggan, and she's carrying a Lajatang. So, and she has a wand. But her Lajatang is not branded, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about this wand. Okay. I think I can just kill her if I can hit her. Good. If you see her with a branded Logitang, be very careful, because being hit multiple times a turn, she is a Spriggan after all. Well, she is a Spriggan with a faster attack speed than you. Not all of them have that. It can be very scary. The Orc Knight come to us. There's a Convoker there. And he's made this Freezing Wraith into a major threat by giving it might. I'm going to use one of my fans of Gales and... Oh, interesting. We'll see if the Air Elemental can't help us. Cool, Black Bastard Sword. This is going pretty well. I've got to be mindful of the Fire Crab as well. And I am taking some hefty damage. Okay, we've got a Simulacrum and a Fire Crab, so it's kind of gross. I don't want to be putting on my Ring of Fire or my Ring of Ice, because they both can do pretty good damage if I have a negative resist. Okay, Fire Crab first. Let's try to kill him fast. Good. No. Alright, that was a dangerous fight, but there was a nice hallway for us. And I definitely need to kill the Golden Eye. Those things can confuse you very easily. Try to get the Convoker before it recalls anything. Oh, and yeah, this is exactly what I wanted Spider to be. Full of dangerous uniques. He has might, he has haste, and he's carrying a pretty big axe. So, and more importantly than that, he has a shield. So, what I'm going to do is... I'm going to quaff my Potion of Porridge, so I get some sustenance. Summon a brother. And... Berserk. Oh my. Okay, those were summoned by his Scroll of Summoning, which is fine, because once we killed him, they went away. Monsters with shields are definitely a dangerous threat. They are much better... A shield in the hands of a monster is much better than a shield in the hands of a player. Which is not to say that the shield in the hands of a player is particularly bad. It's just that shields are better at blocking damage from a single source, which in most cases is how we do our damage. Huh, Golden Eyes. I haven't seen so many of these before. Ah, shapeshifters. Okay, Vaults is going well. You can expect some amount of trouble from it. Some amount of danger. Especially from uniques and the Vault-specific monsters. But I mean, even so, there's... Outside of those, there's plenty of dragons and giants to cause problems. Man, I really don't want to use Electrocution, as incredibly good as it is. So I'm not going to, as... You know, feel free to leave me nasty comments about that, because it's very likely the best choice. Do we want any of these things? Let's see. We have plenty of heal wounds. The Might Potion will be nice later. Whoops. Gotta check the stairs. And that's another floor. Okay, good. Okay, coins being counted means that there is a bazaar, which is a portal vault full of shops. But I need to find this quickly. And I left my magic mapping on another floor, so we're going to find it manually. Hopefully. Perhaps we won't. This is a nice fight to start us off. Oh, MK Polka asked, why don't I want to use Electrocution? Well, Electrocution an extremely powerful brand. And the reason I don't want to use it is because I'm role-playing as a stupid berserker who wants to do pure physical damage. It's as simple as that. Though, in theory, the claymores which I'm using they have very high base damage. 19 is, I believe, the highest of any weapon that can be wielded by a normal-sized race. That is to say, only giant clubs and giant spike clubs are higher. And that means electrocution does flat damage that's not dependent on base damage. So, in theory, once I'm doing enough damage with these swords, these other brands will actually be better than electrocution, and I might be strong enough to be at that point now. So, I might not be playing completely incorrectly or arbitrarily, but I'd be happy to use electrocution on a normal character for sure. Okay, I want to kill this Orc Priest. Alright. I should get some more evocations for this thing. This thing is so cool. Although it's actually really good already. Okay, I got the Warden. He's starting to recall, so we're going up here. Ah. Do we have any more charges? Because I don't want those high priests. I don't want to fight the summons. Okay, we're going to do some stair dancing. Whoops. Nothing. And get that high priest right away. Good. And get the convoker. Awesome. I gotta put on this regeneration ring because actually I want to be exploring quickly. It's often not really useful to wear a regeneration ring if you don't care about your turn count. But in this case, I gotta hurry. I gotta get that to that bazaar. And if you check the messages, you hear the stately tolling of a bell a long way away. There's 3, you're kind of playing a, cooler or warmer with that. Long way is further than distant, which is further than nearby. So you can kind of use sonar in that regard. Alright, here's another monster. I don't know if we're going to find it. We've got a lot of fighting right away. It's a flayed ghost, and this is dangerous because I don't want to run from the stone giant. It'll just peg me with large rocks. But the flayed ghost can cause a status called flay, which, as you see, reduced my HP by close to half. So that's nasty. And we got marked. Man, this is not going well at all. Okay, well, I can rest off the flay, and I can rest off the mark. On a floor which I've already cleared, so it's safe. Oh, I don't have my MR gear on because I was regenerating. That's silly. Alright, we get the flayed ghost and we don't get marked. Fine. Fine, maybe we won't get to see the bazaar. Call's just being that way right now. Okay, here's at least an interesting monster. Deep Trail Earth Mage. It has Lee's Rapid Deconstruction and Dig. So I want to step away from the walls because Lee's Rapid Deconstruction blows up rock and metal and all wall types and does quite a bit of damage. Oh, distant. So maybe it's up here. Let's hope. Did we hear another one? No. Long way away. It was distant from this position, so maybe it's down here. Wow. Great, we have a huge fight. Well, whatever. We can do it. Kill the High Priest. I'm getting smited a lot, which is irritating. Distant, that's good. I'm going to start regenning. The Warlord is very powerful. Whoops. Warlords and Knights and these priests. The priests are annoying because of their smiting. But I'm not really worried. And maybe I should be a bit more worried. Yeah. Well, a bunch of orcs actually are causing me to use my first heal wounds potion because of all that smiting. I was just I was just watching my HP there though. It wasn't actually as dangerous a fight as it looked like because I'd killed the main melee threats from the orcs and was just making sure that I was, you know, in the safe damage from like max damage priest smites, which can do up to 17. Okay, so we better hope it's over here. Archandra, I don't know if it was the first heal wounds all game, but it might have been it was the first in a long time for sure. Okay, I think I just got a long way away and I had distant over here, so I think the bazaar must be down here. So I have to go all the way around. I might miss it. Especially if I have to keep fighting. Come on. Especially if I keep taking a lot of damage from smiters because I'm not paying attention. Regeneration. Urgent tolling. Distant. So we're getting closer. Gateway to a bazaar. Okay, great. So I'm going to close this, start dropping things that I definitely don't need to take in with me. Like this wand of disintegration. The problem is I've pretty much got a full inventory. And there's some things I don't actually want to lose. Like these scrolls. Ah, it's Saint Roca. Great. Well, this is going to be a pretty substantial fight, considering I'm at pretty low HP. And Saint Roca has smiting. And hopefully that bazaar does not close. Let's summon a brother. It's just a hill giant. Let's get another one on deck. Yeah, it's a stone giant. Ouch! Electrocution. Okay, and we've got a freezing wraith. So we're going to move back, hopefully not get smited, and we're going to heal again. That's okay, we've got a wand. And got Saint Roca. Excellent. And now I want to kill the priests before I get slowed by this wraith. And that went very well. Oh no. Oh, I thought the dark blue meant something. Alright. And I'm gonna drop some food. I'm gonna eat my meat ration when I get in there. Okay, let's just go. So what do we have? We have plenty of slots. Alright. I was a little bit too worried about that, but I get to show off the bazaar, which is cool. There might be some really awesome stuff to buy. I mean, there's a demon whip already. Too bad we're only wielding huge two-handers this game. I also have 3,000 gold. So it's kind of nice to be able to come into a bazaar with a lot of money. I don't need any of that. I got crystal plate. Okay, cool. What is a wand of destruction now? Random bolt. Hey, Archandra, have you ever used one of these things? Are they good? Because random bolt does not sound great. If it's random damaging bolt and not like a bolt of chaos, that's pretty good. But the Phial of Floods is an awesome elemental evoker, which I'm going to buy right now. Or I'm going to put it on the shopping list. So the shopping list is new. You type shift and the letter you want to put things on the shopping list. It used to be kind of a little bit more of a convoluted interface. That's a new change in 0.14. Wow. I don't need weapons. I have Trog. Well, this was much ado about nothing, wasn't it? I'm gonna buy 2 items. It looks like. Alas. I wish I could have gotten some fire resistance. Oops. Legendary deck of dungeons. No, I don't want any of those other things. Okay, well, we made it in. That was the goal, right? And let's make Trog happy with us again. Man, Battle Axe of Electrocution. That could have been a pretty tough fight. All right, let's check the upstairs. And let's try out our new rod. All right, negative energy. I get. Well, this thing is not that great. I get one shot with it. Well, that's okay. I mean, one shot of a rod, of a bolt is. That's pretty good. Okay, as you can see that Eden did excuse me. As you can see that Eden did a lot of damage. Those are one of the more dangerous melee threats in the game. And one of the leading killers of characters who make it to vaults. So definitely be careful if you don't have great dodging, or even if you do. Eat the pear. We don't really need to be carrying around fruit anymore. And I'm going to put on my ring of ice. Definitely want to avoid taking huge damage from the frost giant, but then I don't want to be hit by a bolt of fire and then die, so. Alright, good. And we're actually getting pretty respectable evasion right now. 14 and 40 defenses are quite good. But that did take a large skill investment in Crystal Plate. Fortunately, we haven't really found a lot of enchant armor this game. I was hoping to get some in vaults. I really haven't. Okay. So this Deep Elf Annihilator is one of the dangerous elves I mentioned earlier. Note the spell set. Lehudib's Crystal Spears, I believe, it's among the most damaging monster conjurations, and it can't be resisted by any elemental resist. So you really, a fight with one of these things, if they hit you, can really get pretty bad. Even though this guy looks like he's doing nothing, which is fine by me. All right, Yaktar Captain, please. Alright, good. Phantasmal Warriors have a type of attack which lowers your magic resist, so even if they're not the most, pressing, you can see my status there. That, I think, halved my magic resist. Yeah, it's bad now. So they might not be the worst danger on their own, but with orbs of eyes around, Vault Sentinels, they can get real bad. And we just got Sharp Toenails mutation, which I don't think is going to do anything, sadly. What I would really love is if Evolution gave me a resist mutation, an elemental resistance. That would be so great. Oh, Archandra, I do have a lantern somewhere in the dungeon. I'm just not carrying it. It's not a huge priority for me now. What is my... Oh, Great Sword of Distortion. Well, we'll leave it. Or I guess I can replace my short sword with a great sword. Not that I'm going to wield either. I just don't want to get hit by them. I don't really. I'm also not... Like, it would be safer to drop it on a fully cleared floor. But I think it's okay. I don't think we're going to wear that anymore. And I don't think we need 2 fans of Gales. I'll show off that file of floods, though. I'll show it off right now. So it did a lot of damage to him, created some water, and hit him and produced a water elemental. If I had more evocation skill, which I will get, it'll actually... The item will actually be able to kill one of those guys in one shot. The impact damage can be incredibly strong. It's sort of like free conjurations on a character who will never cast a spell. Conjurations and summons. Wonderful. Great. Brown, ugly things, they do acid damage. So they're disgusting. Oops. Well, I want to self-fireball. Oh well. That wasn't the correct order to do things. The problem with acid damage is it will corrode your armor. So, even though the white ugly thing will do more damage to us, we're trying to avoid losing AC. Let's see if we did. Doesn't look like it. And level 4 of the vaults. Okay, so we cleared it out. We had some uniques, and we had some fun finding a bazaar. But we're not going to do Vaults 5 right now. Next thing on our agenda is going to be doing the depths. Because Vaults 5 is the branch end of the vaults, and it has an infamous trap. It's very difficult. Maybe one of the most difficult floors in the game. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it.